Welcome back to Coach Bill's Sports Show. As always, I'm Coach Bill. If it's your first time joining us, thank you. We do some college football, pro football, fantasy football, NCAA 14, if it's football related, we're pretty well doing it. Just wanted to hop on here real quick and go through a quick recap of what's happened today. It has been an insane day in college football, and we're going to get into it. So let's huddle up and let's get going. All right, so let's start with my my team here. We'll start with the Tennessee Volunteers, who went up to Pittsburgh. Tennessee in the second quarter, first quarter didn't really get it going until late in the first quarter. Second quarter, they really kind of found a groove, and then they seem to have lost it at halftime. Thankfully, Pittsburgh had a lot of injury issues, which kept it from being an issue for Tennessee. But Pittsburgh was able to force overtime, and it came down to an absolute amazing defensive call with a safety blitz that really sealed the game for them. So, big win for Tennessee, getting a revenge against Pitt. It was a higher ranked team. Good win for Tennessee. Let's get into some of the craziness that has happened today. So, Alabama and Texas. Woo! Great game if you're a college football fan. If you're an Alabama fan, y'all got away. Y'all got very lucky there at the end. If Bryce hadn't have been there in Alabama, this would have been a loss. That was 100% Bryce willing y'all to win. 100%. Now, I will say this. Had an Alabama fan call me, and I'll be very clear. I'll tell you exactly like I told him. It may have been a win. They may have made it out of that stadium alive. But they're going to die. Coach Saban is going to kill them on Monday. He's going to absolutely destroy them. Especially there at the end of the game with the doing the horns down gesture. That's not who Nick Saban is. That's not what he appreciates. So I would project Alabama next game to be at a different level than they were in this one. Georgia, let's be real. Georgia plays Samford. They steamrolled them. Nobody really had any questions. That's just like Ohio State playing Arkansas State, Clemson playing Furman. These games were, for lack of a better term, gimmies. But let's get into the first wildness of the day. Marshall, the Thundering Herd, beat number 8 Notre Dame. Watched some of this game, and my takeaway from it was maybe I was a little bit too forgiving with Notre Dame when they held it close against Ohio State last game of their first game of the season. First game of the season. And they really got exposed in this game. Marshall just wanted this game more. 100%. If you watch it, Marshall wanted this game more. They had kids that were making plays, doing everything they could. Marshall just wanted it. It's the end of the day. Marshall wanted it. And Notre Dame thought they were Notre Dame and they were going to walk in and win. To me, it's as simple as that. So Notre Dame's 0-2 now. I hope they take a drastic fall. Might even see them fall out of the rankings with this loss. So I said they were overhyped at the beginning of the season and kind of backed off it against that Ohio State game. And now I'm definitely, y'all were overhyped. Utah, I think if they didn't set a team record in points, they definitely came close because they scored 73 points, 38 in the second quarter, but 73 points against Southern Utah today. Can say those boys were a little pissed off after the game against Florida. Speaking of Florida, real tight game right now. I think it's halftime, and they're up by 3 against Kentucky. That game's going to tell us a lot about the SEC East this year. Michigan State played Akron, easy win. Miami played Southern Miss. South Carolina, Arkansas went at it. NC State destroyed Southern Charleston. Then we get to another one of the wild ones today. Washington State. 2-0 Washington State. Didn't see that coming. Walked into Wisconsin and came out with a win. Big win for Washington State. Big win for Washington State. Wisconsin is going to have to figure themselves out. There's been close games. Both their first 2 games have been really close. But this is a loss that they never should have had. So, be interesting to see where Wisconsin goes from here. Wake Forest beats Vanderbilt. Wake is not a bad team, and Vanderbilt is the lowest team in the SEC. If they're not the lowest, they're the second lowest. They're the bottom rung of the SEC. Whereas Wake is the middle tier of the ACC. So, but another kind of shocker. Texas Tech beating Houston in overtime. Houston went to overtime 2 weeks in a row. Last week they were to pull it out. This week they just couldn't do it. The Texas Tech quarterback made it happen, and he made it happen with his legs, and it was a very good broken play for him. But now let's get into the wildness, into the real wildness of the day. I would like to start a petition. Appalachian State. I know you're the Mountaineers. I went there for a couple years. They need to change their name. You all can no longer be called the Mountaineers. You need to be the Giant Killers. Teams need to stop watching the Adam Sandler remake of The Longest Yard, where he says, "Oh, we just bring in some team like Appalachian State and beat the dog shit out of them." Yeah, not anymore, guy. Appalachian State's no joke. They really aren't. Yeah, they lost to UNC. Absolute shootout. They put up 40 points in the fourth quarter. It just came down to whoever had the ball last. But they went into Kyle Field, into Texas A&M, played with an SEC team. I'm putting together a list of teams that I think be part of the next expansion, and you're darn tootin' skippy if you think Appalachian State's going to be on there. They will. Hands down, they will be on that expansion talk. I think this is time for Texas A&M to take a hard look at themselves. I know they were hyping themselves up, thinking this is their year to win the SEC, and it might well could be this year. But you got to figure out your quarterback situation, because that was your Achilles heel in this one. You had 97 passing yards. 97. I mean, 97 passing yards from Texas A&M would be good in a first quarter. Not for a full game. Not at all. And they only had 89 rushing yards, too. So, in comparison, App State had 134 passing yards and 181 rushing yards. When you're getting doubled by a Sun Belt team offensively, there's some things you need to work out. I understand King won that quarterback competition, but it might be time to open it back up. Let the kid from LSU get some plays. I think they have. I'm trying to remember who Texas A&M has the next week. I think it's Miami, which is not an easy game. It's not. It's going to be a scary game. You got a couple scary ones. If I remember correctly, you got Miami, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Alabama in your next 4 games. So open up the competition. It's time to really allow every spot to be challenged. Every spot. It's the only way you're going to be able to compete the way you want to compete in the SEC. But let's talk about the Sun Belt, guys. Sun Belt's not a slouch team, not a slouch conference. There's going to be a lot of picking from the Sun Belt when it comes to the expansion. There's going to be a lot of it, a whole lot. Be prepared. Sun Belt has shown they're a good team. Or a good conference. They have a lot of good teams. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, I hope everybody enjoyed this craziness that was college football today. We still got a lot of football left. I don't foresee a lot of craziness happening. Except for maybe that BYU-Baylor game. I have BYU nudging out Baylor in that one. But we'll see. I don't think Michigan-Hawaii is going to be that much of a game, in all honesty. USC is destroying Stanford right now. The good game on right now is at halftime. It's Florida, and it's Kentucky. It's a battle for the SEC East. It's between Florida, Kentucky, and Tennessee for the second slot in the SEC East. So it'll be very interesting to see. I'll be very interested to see who comes out of this one. Anyways, just wanted to hop on here and do a quick wrap-up for you, or a quick recap for you. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, like, comment on these videos. Definitely helps us here, helps the channel. Trying to get it to grow, trying to get a little bit more on here, trying to get a couple more graphics, a couple more things put together. Should see those in the next coming weeks. Trying to also get a set schedule together so that we can do this more regularly. Again, trying to make that happen over the next couple weeks. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope you're ready for your football tomorrow, NFL season. If you don't have your lineup set, make sure you set them. But once again, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful night. Ready, break.